This podcast is a part of the More Podcast Network.
So you said this in Killing the Victim, the first book you wrote in 1997, Dan. You said leadership is creating a vision and sending it forth with promises. And when I think about, you've this isn't a new thought for you. You've been on this for about 20 some odd years now. Um, this idea of promises and responsibility, like, is rooted in the future.
It's all rooted in the future, and with a commitment to be intimate with current reality, right? That's what produces the tension. Most of the time, leaders don't want to be too defined about the future because it brings that tension up, right? When you see what you really want and you notice where you are, the longing for what you want comes up and it seems impossible to get there. So what will happen is they'll obscurify the future, or they'll lie about the present, or disassociate, you about the present.
Well,
So
and founders of businesses that are scaling and they're trying to grow. I mean, I see this all the time with leaders who are trying to grow businesses. Is there's a parade of bullshit that goes on in between, what is actually happening, what is actually transpiring, and this vision that we espouse. And it's like, hey, the company around the leader is shouting, hey, this isn't working, and the leader just says, just keep looking at this semi clear thing up here, don't worry about where. And it's like, no, 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 we are not headed in even the remotely correct destination.
but yeah, you hear that, that's that awareness, right, is a weapon. Cultural awareness is a weapon. If I train the culture to be to welcome the discomfort and tension of recognizing where we're missing it, where it's not working, it produces a desire to act, very right. And so to act on it in a way that will produce the future we're committed to, right? But that takes courage and self-awareness, and courage is the beginning of self-awareness. And so the more that the people can be aware of where they are in relationship to where they want to go, the clearer what's wanted and needed can become. We at TNG, we have this kind of syllogism, and it goes like this: candor begets clarity, and clarity begets commitment. So it takes courage to be to have candor, to be honest about what you see, what you think. That clarity, that brings clarity. If I know what you're thinking and seeing, and I know what Taylor's thinking and seeing, and you know what I'm thinking and seeing, a clarity starts to occur that hasn't previously been there. And out of that clarity, we can get committed. We start to get committed to where we stand in relationship to what we said we're after. And we can see what's wanted and needed from each of us to get there. We can actually then make promises or declarations, make requests and promises for what's next, for what to provide what's wanted and needed to get to the next level, the next threshold where we do it again. And that's the journey. And that there's learning in that. We become closer. We learn how to better relate to one another. We learn how to talk about breakdowns in a way that's like, to talk about a breakdown with you, Brad, is probably different than to talk about a breakdown with Taylor. Like I talk to Adrian different than I talk to Chad, and they talk to me different than they talk to each other, right? It because we were aware of, like Adrian knows, I'm going to first probably be defensive and I'm going to attack his ideas. So he's really good at. I notice him. I notice how he does it. I'm going, thank you for that. I like. Whereas I used to feel, I would think, "Oh, that's condescending," but no, no, it's actually thoughtful. He's very thoughtful, Adrian, about how to talk to the people he's talking to. I've learned a lot from watching him. It's part of what I've learned. And same with Chad. Chad's very thoughtful and very disciplined about his rigor and what he wants to see happen. And he's very thoughtful about how to get that in. And and we learn from each other that way.
Well, and to your point, Dan, in this version of responsibility, it removes blame, shame, and credit, and it frees us up for a whole new position.
Yeah, it's not personal, and even though it may feel personal, and you can get personal. But if I'm not, if I'm committed to the vision, I'm welcoming you. You, when you're personal about it, when you elevate and you have to say something and you need to say something pointed, even judgmental, I can contain that because that's worth listening to understand what you're seeing about the vision that I may not be seeing, even though what you're making up about it I may disagree with. There, what are you trying to tell me? What is it I can learn from this? And when you, if I that way with you, you're going to be much more apt to decelerate, to unplug. We just got out of the client, and this client I get revved up in, and I shat on the deal, and David and Adrian were very polite about what they said, and I just went, "Yeah, you're right. I missed it." And it was amazing. David goes, "Man, thank you for that." I mean, what do you mean? I want to have the client turn out. I was edgy. I wanted to get to the bottom line too quick. I wasn't thinking about them. I was thinking about me. I get it, and I'll own it. I'll talk to the client about it, and I did. I asked the client to forgive me because I could tell I triggered them, their defensiveness. So being able to do that works for the team, and Adrian was very gracious about it. And we've all done that in one shape or form. But if we have room enough to do that and then be able to recover ourselves and contain it so that the team member can recover themselves, it's amazing how quickly people will.
Yeah, I think, and that's just rare. That's rare for people to do. But if they can do it, the possibilities for their team in their future just totally open up, right? That opens up so much.
And if you watch Russell Brand, if you watch, he's had all these guys on. You watch Joe Rogan. You watch these guys with these. I've watched them make mistakes and recover. Like, you know what? I missed it. Well, I mean, forgive me for that. That wasn't true. That didn't happen.
No, yeah, and that way you can be honest and real and forthright about it, and you can figure out what's wanted and needed for the next time.
That's right. Brett Weinstein is another one. Yeah.
Yeah.